we have former Miss Kansas here, and she's a wonderful lady and has given so much to these young hopefuls to also join the beauty pageant because it helps them a lot improve their personalities and many things else. And that's what she knows. Tell us about your experience when you were a beauty pageant delegate or contestant, and what have you learned?
You know, it's a great experience. For me, it was about making myself the best version of myself that I could be. So a lot of wonderful things start happening when you compete for a pageant. You start making yourself better. You start getting into shape, you know, and that makes you feel good about yourself. You start, you know, doing things like taking courses on how to do your makeup on stage in front of a crowd, you know, and that makes you feel good about yourself. You also do things like, you know, perhaps you can find a sponsorship that, you know, it will help fix your teeth or something like that, or teeth whitening or something like that. So, you know, you go through all these changes as a delegate to try and prepare to be your best self, but really, you know, whether you get the title or not, you've taken a lot out of it. So that's, for me, that was my experience, and that's why I love pageantry, because I love seeing these women that are the best versions of themselves that they can be right during this weekend. So I love it.
So, your advice to these young women, how to prepare themselves for competitions such as the Miss Earth, how important is physical fitness and also their personalities to be able to communicate to an audience?
Those are both key aspects to winning a pageant, if that's what you're going for. And obviously no one really competes in a pageant not to win. So physical fitness is important just because you're on stage in front of, you know, hundreds or possibly thousands of people. You want to look your best, and stage lighting is not forgiving. So because of that, you want to make sure that you're in the best shape that you can be in. You know, it's important that you exercise and you eat healthy. It's also important not to take it to the extreme, because that can also, you know, actually negatively impact a score as well. They want to see healthy girls that are disciplined and, you know, have taken that component of it seriously. And I'm sorry, what was the second?
And their ability to communicate to an audience.
Communicate.
Yes.
Honestly, that's one of the most important parts of the competition, because as a title holder, you have to be able to communicate with everyone, all walks of life, young, old, you know, you know, from whatever country, and you have to be able to make that person feel valued when you're talking to them, and you have to be able to make that person feel like you actually care about what they have to say. And so communication is very important, because you will be constantly, you know, in a position where you have to speak in front of a crowd. And you can either be doing that, or you can also just be talking one-on-one to an individual when you're at an appearance. So communication is really important. And in my eyes, if I were a judge, and I've actually never judged a pageant, I would probably be scoring the girls, you know, even in evening gown and swimwear, I would be scoring those girls higher, the ones that I had already seen in an interview, and I know that they are good communicators, because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that the girl has a certain look, and there's a lot of girls in pageantry that have that look you want. What sets you apart is your ability to communicate, and to communicate effectively, and also to communicate, you know, the message of your platform, whatever that might be.
Mm-hmm. And being a beauty queen yourself, and having been involved in these competitions as a director, tell me, what have you learned from these delegates that have been joining this competition all these years?
You know, I would like to say what I've learned from these delegates, actually, for the Miss Earth United States competition, is that these women are actually very, very well educated on environmental issues. It's mind-blowing. Honestly, what I've learned is that I need to learn more. I need to do more of my part to research these things, because some of the things that they're bringing up and some of the issues they're talking about, I never knew that was even an issue. So, I mean, I think that says a lot for our society. It says a lot for us as a community, and you know, so that's one thing. That's the best thing that I've learned is really I need to be paying more attention to stuff. You know, environmental issues like clean water, climate change. Those are a couple of the biggest topics I've been hearing about here in the public speaking portion of the competition.
Two final questions. Which would you give more percent, beauty or intelligence?
You know, it's tough because this is a beauty pageant, so obviously beauty is important. But beauty is important on the inside and on the outside and on the inside. So you know, a beautiful person on the inside is someone who, you know, is gracious and kind to others, and that's very important. You know, I would say that probably beauty on the inside and the outside would be more important than intelligence, although intelligence is obviously a major factor in being a pageant queen, because what we're trying to do here, especially at the Miss Earth United States organization, is we're trying to break that stereotype that, you know, oh, you know, pageant girls are ditzy or they don't know what they're talking about. I'm really proud of the girls at this competition because they are really much more educated on a lot of these issues than myself. So that's that's great. That's really inspiring on my end.
Finally, I know you've defined it in our previous questions. However, just for a last message, please define beauty and what are the 3 ingredients to beauty?
Great question. So 3 ingredients to beauty. I would say kindness, forgiveness, and confidence. And you know, to me, beauty is about, as I mentioned in a previous answer, it's about being beautiful on the outside and on the inside, and you know, it's also about being able to accept a compliment. You know, a lot of girls get told they're beautiful every day, and they're like, oh no, you know, just accept the compliment. So.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank
You're
you.
most beautiful, Miss Kansas.
Alrighty.